Can we have some leaflets, please?
Broken by the system, one that is stolen by a system of science belief, things that we cannot demonstrate, like asteroids and dinosaurs, perhaps. Dinosaurs going extinct threatens that we might one day go extinct. Now we need a master, we need a government to control us, to take care of us. Take care of yourself. You don't need a religion, you don't need a belief system like science is today to take care of you. We are divine souls of the creation, and we should be having a divine experience here of this creation, not one controlled by a government.
Good afternoon.
Religions and science.
Could you tell me if you can hear me talk, please?
The truth is that we are of the creator. There is a creator. We created this environment for us, but it into something toxic, something poisonous. And it's time for the darkness to step back and allow the light up.
Welcome.
The Christ light that is within each of us to be put to the
Okay, nice. You can hear me then, yeah? That's good news. Okay, thank you.
I'm offering you today.
Good afternoon to everyone in the chat.
The possibility that we cannot
Welcome to Lisbon. Hang on, madam. No?
The entirety of NASA, the space agencies.
It's only paper, it doesn't kill you. There you go. Thank you.
The government stands for mind control. They're trying to control your mind and stop you from ever realizing the truth about who you are.
We have a good turnout. We were going to go to the square, but on parking the van we saw a lot of footfall. So it's about talking to lots of people. It's not about necessarily standing under a nice statue. So we decided to give it a crack here rather than waste another hour trying to park up. So that's why we've stayed here.
Chasing love, you should be looking to nature rather than to more man-made creation.
Madam?
This man-made idea that women are meant to be slaves in the workplace rather than mothers of nature is taking hold such that most women
Okay, no thank you.
see themselves as
Watching but not interested. Okay.
CEOs rather than the CEO of her home. Of course, I can't know how much people can take on a man.
Well, I suppose if needs be, they can read their language on this piece of thing underneath me and ask questions if they're stuck, which is what I would do.
There's the Portuguese, right?
There's the Spanish and the Portuguese is there, and there's English there, and there's lots of other things, because I just heard some Dutch folk. So I imagine they're from that ship over there.
The earth is flat. We've
So
been
is
lied to about where we live.
Holland is most certainly flat. They should have been very interested.
Well,
But there we go. Guess there's no time for humour right now, but yeah. Welcome, Effie Maori. How are you doing, my friend? Vertek, how you doing, bud? I had to go behind the banner because I can't bloody see it. It's so bright. Okay, so I'm going to go back round the front. So it's a very, very bright, lovely day. We decided to set up with this here. But what we noticed was we have quite a few people in this vicinity. I mean, we had a crowd already while we were setting up. We couldn't get the stream up quick enough, unfortunately, because the Wi-Fi was playing up a little bit. That tends to happen. But, you know. Sir? You have one?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so that's it. So we're in Lisbon and we'll see how this goes. There seems to be interested, a lot of interesting people. They will stop and have a little look at it. But I feel like photobombing those guys behind me and with a Earth is flat leaflet, just to ruin their holiday snap. But we don't do that. What's up? Okay.
You have been in Frankfurt last week?
Sorry?
You have been in Frankfurt last
We've
week?
been everywhere. Yeah. Frankfurt last week, Munich, Frankfurt.
I take a picture.
Yeah, there we go. What are you here for? You on holiday?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I was only in Frankfurt for the last hour or so. I came late, but yeah. Okay. Enjoy your day. Take care. Thank you. That's interesting. Two chaps who happened to be in Frankfurt last week. I mean, of all the cities you could pick in Europe to bump into somebody again, you'd win quite a bit on the lottery, I would suggest on that one. I'm not a conspiracy theorist as such, cough cough, but you know, I'm not too sure they followed us down here, but they certainly seemed. Are you getting the tyres? Okay, I'll see you in a bit. Contact us if there's something wrong or whatever, yeah? Okay man, see you in a bit, take it easy. And they've just driven off with my cigarettes, which of course is not very good.
It's like so bad.
But never mind. I'll have to go without. Excuse me. Seems like I take a pamphlet. Madam? Piece of paper. Okay. It's very strange. They some people are quite keen on getting a pamphlet off you, or a leaflet, or flyer, or whatever you want to call it. And some people, they sort of almost scared they might get. I don't know. Some sort of disease. It's a camera, love. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, I'm not playing around today. I'm not going to take any shit off anybody. That's definitely my first commandment of the day today. So there we go. Anyway, right, yeah. So it's quite warm as well, I have to say. This is definitely the mildest part of Europe that we've been to yet, which is excellent. I can't read, so bear with me if I don't read out any messages or anything on the chat. I'll have to do it every now and then because it's hard to see. That's why I keep disappearing behind the. There you go. Thank you. Just go behind here and I'll see who's about. I can't read half of that. It's too difficult to read. But anyway. I shall take a look through the chat in a bit when I do my break or whatever. Right, so Jack has gone off with the van. He's gone with Lisa. Lisa's not feeling very well today. It's just one of those things where it's difficult to shake something off when you've got it, especially if you're living in a camping van situation. You haven't really got the chance, and Lisa's sort of, it's how can I say it? It's lingering a little bit. So she's gone with Jack. Jack has gone to a garage to sort out tyres from the front of the car, front of the van. So that will be sorted today. And yeah. So hopefully they'll come back with a nice pair of plimsolls on the front. It's an extremely bright day though, really, really bright. So. Adam, you're welcome. So yeah. Yeah, so it's a little bit unfortunate that our camera girl is out of action. But then again, it's not a terribly disastrous thing. There's still enough of it. Do you speak English?
Yeah.
A little bit? Yeah, nice one. What do you think? Have you stopped and had a little look? What caught your eye?
I'm not understanding really well.
You're not understanding really well. Okay, where are you from? What country?
From here.
Oh, from Portugal? Oh, okay. Well, my Portuguese is much, much worse than your English. I can guarantee you that. Okay, so we have a little bit of information in Portuguese, but it's just little bullet points, really. The idea is to create a conversation and do a little bit of sort of thought-provoking, you know, get us to think a little bit and get us to do some research, because there are many lies, and you know, because the school tells you some information does not mean it's true. We all know that. Yeah? So yeah, so we're trying to raise a bit of awareness and get people to think about what we're being told. There you go, sir. Okay, mate, no worries. Yeah, grab one of those. Okay, got it. Ready. Thank you. Yeah, so I'll show you something. Most people don't know the measurements for the Earth. If I say to a normal person, tell me the measurement of the Earth, the official, they won't know. Well, the fact is the Earth has a circumference of 40,000 kilometers, 25,000 miles round the edge, round this, which means there should be 8 inches of drop every mile squared. Okay, which of course doesn't happen when you're looking out to the water. If you look over there and you've got a pair of, let's say, a telescope or a pair of binoculars, you'll be able to bring in things that are 10, 15, 20 miles away, and that shouldn't be possible. It just shouldn't be possible. But there's a lot of things that are worth looking into, and it's all linked in with all of this, everything that's going on with us. For example, here, water cannot curve, impossible. It always has to be level. Must be level. But when I say that, they will say, okay, curve because of gravity, which is silly, because gravity is a theory. It's not, you know, it's an explanation, it's a way of explaining a phenomenon. Something falling to the ground. Well, we can use any word for that. I could say it's banana. Yeah, it doesn't matter, right? So, but that's what we're trying to do, get people to think and open their minds a little bit and just have a little look.
There's only one sea level on Earth. Ships cannot sail underneath. Oh yeah, but it's because of gravity. Gravity is just, I can pick something up and drop it down. That doesn't mean it's going to hold. The ship is going to hold underneath.
There's a bit of a wind picked up there as well. I have to move that away. Yeah, it's difficult when you're doing a lot of talking and you don't know how much the person's actually understanding, so I'm just trying to keep that a little bit brief. She took a leaflet anyway, so it didn't really matter. But, so, thank you.
Will you be here tomorrow?
We'll be here for today, the rest of the day. Tomorrow we've got to travel to Gibraltar. Yeah, unfortunately.
Can I take some pictures?
Yeah, help yourself, take some photographs, of course. And when the van comes back later, you can take some photos as well. No problem. There you go. Would you like one? Thank you. Sir. I see someone's done something in the super chat, so I'm going to have to try and read that if I can. Like I say, it's just ever so bright here, so I'm trying to find a dark place to read it. So if I can read it. Earth is seriously flat. Thank you very much for your donation. Much appreciated. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thanks to everybody who's joined us on here right now. If you're wondering why I'm pointing at the back of our banners, it's because it's the only place I can actually read it properly, because it's so bright out the front. I can't see the screen of the smartphone, so they're not very smart after all, are they? But yeah, that's a bit of a problem. But Hi, Clive Albert. Nice to see you. Flat Plane Oregon. Nice to see you too. Effie Maori, if I haven't mentioned you, I'll mention you again. That was my New Zealand accent there. Yeah. So, Vertec I've already mentioned. How could I forget? The Astral Thief. Hello. So just scrolling up to see who's on here. There we have it. Yeah, so we always appreciate. Yeah, much love all round. Absolutely. Thanks, Effie Mary. That's what I wanted. Confirmation from you, my friend. Never mind all these Anglo-Saxons like Vertec and myself. We need to talk to experts like you. Right, so, madam, bit of information. Okay, you have one.
This is our background radiation thing called WMAP. And that background radiation, when they do it, they always come back with the result that Earth is at the center.
Okay.
That's what they find. I know that science doesn't like it. No,
Right, yeah, strange. Now the sun is gone. Madam, would you like one of these? A little bit of information. Speak good English. I can hear that. Would you like one?
No, thank you.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. You can share that one. You're welcome. No, thank you, but I'll read my friends. Interesting. Anyway, so
only lighting up the clouds by me, not over downhill. I would say that. Yeah, you can stand here at night.
yeah, now that the sun's gone, it's really strange. It gets very nippy suddenly. Then when the sun comes out, it gets warm and all that malarkey. Anyway.
Which is most of this. Nobody can disagree with fire. But you can see because the water's level. The water's level.
How are you? You alright? You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah?
Just admiring.
Huh?
Just admiring.
Well, it's food for thought for people to just have a little look for themselves. We're not trying to change the world. We're just trying to say to people, don't believe all the crap that we're fed. Try and pay less attention to mainstream media and try and do some researching yourself. And certain things on here, you can easily research for yourself. Easily. You don't need a physics teacher to tell you how to think or how to work things out. If we say 8 inches per mile squared drop in curvature, then we can easily say, how is it I can see 20 miles? Right? It's a very simple fact like that you don't get taught in school. But there are lots of other facts. Water finding its level, aeroplanes not holding their nose down to make sure that they can fly around the world, gyroscopes, radar.
You know that an airplane
Yeah.
has a length of about less than 100 meters.
Yeah.
The biggest planes in the world probably measure
50 meters long?
50 meters.
Yeah. But it doesn't matter how big they are.
Pitch, you wouldn't have to keep such a downwards pitch because you just
Well, you would. You'd have to fly around a curve. You have to.
A couple hundreds of degrees.
You'd have to travel. I can tell you exactly. It would have to be 9 degrees constantly on a flight. That you'd have to be pitching downwards. And a normal plane pitches 3 degrees up to keep to take into account aerodynamics. It has to pitch slightly upwards. A plane. Otherwise, it would crash. Simple. That's called aerodynamics.
Yeah. I'm actually an aerospace engineer.
Well, that's great. So you should know that gyroscopes don't work on curved surfaces. You should know that.
They don't work on curved surfaces.
They don't. They work on flat surfaces. They were tested by the military. I come from a military background, and I can tell you gyroscopes are definitely made for flat surfaces. And it says it in all NASA documents. All tests they do, they go from the presumption of a flat surface. Exactly.
Because it's approximately.
So why say that and not do it on a flat surface?
But it's approximately.
It's not approximate. You can't be approximate when you're in the sky flying at 10.5 miles, my friend. There's no such thing as approximate. You have to be exact. Do you work on approximations when you're an engineer, or are you precise?
Of course, I work on approximations. How could you work with the precision when you're measurement devices have
Okay.
a finite number of precision
Yeah.
digits, and you're working with things that, in order to be precise, absolutely not precise, exact,
Yeah.
should have an infinite number of digits.
Yeah. I
So
see
you
where you're
have to work with
going.
the
I see what you're going.
Everything you have here, that chart over there, it has approximations, obviously.
Well, yeah, no, well, listen, the approximation on that chart are based on the numbers we're given by school systems and by NASA. That's not my figures. That's what we've been given. I tell you, we're not living on a spinning ball in space. People believe that garbage. I think it's ridiculous. But it took me 45 years to realise. I'm 46, right? So I'm glad I realised it before I died. But my daughter certainly is not going to wait until she's 46. She's 9 years old. She'll know by the time she's 11. I can tell you that. So she can ask her teacher lots of awkward questions. Because that's what they're there for, to ask questions and to be taught.
I'm a believer that.
Sir? Madam? No? What, funny? No? Okay.
I'm a believer that knowledge should always be.
I guess laughing is one way of dealing with it. Yeah, go on.
But
Yeah, absolutely. Everything should be questioned, everything. But-
everything
But-
I know.
Yeah?
What I've been
Or that you've been told, yeah? What you've been told, not what you know, what you've been
I've
told.
learned.
What have you learned? Have you learned that the Earth is flat? No. Why not? Because you're working... Yeah, you're saying absolutely not, but why is that? Why is it that you as a technician or engineer think that the Earth is a spinning ball in space?
Everything I've been taught about physics.
You've been taught, yes. You just said it. That's it, that's the end of the conversation. You just said everything I've been taught about physics. That is exactly the conversation right there.
Do you know anything about physics?
I know what I've been taught about physics, and that's it.
And how can
Well,
you
what is
argue-
physics? It's a curriculum. It's set up by man.
I'm not talking
Yeah?
about the curriculum.
I'm
physics.
talking about that. I'm talking about what we get taught. You know, you believe in Newtonian gravity? Or are you an Einsteinian who says that gravity is not a force?
I believe in
Or do you know?
plausible theory.
Okay, well, theory is what you just said it again, theory. It's not practical, is it? It's theory. It's theoretical.
You're just using.
Is gravity not a theory? Can we agree on that gravity is a theory? Right, thank you. That's all I wanted to know. So if if gravity is a theory, you could call it banana, you could call it brick, you could call it, I don't know, smiley face. Doesn't matter what you call it, right? So,
Everything you say is also a theory.
of course it's, well, I wouldn't say looking too far across the water is a theory, my friend. I think if I could see...
Have you ever been on sailboats?
Sorry?
Have you ever been on sailboats?
On what?
Sailboats.
On sailboats?
Yeah.
I've seen sailboats from afar. I've never been on one. I've been on boats. No, I've been on boats, not a sailboat.
So it doesn't matter.
Okay.
I've been on, do you know the Azores?
Yeah, I know the Azores. Not personally,
I've
yeah.
made a crossing of the islands together.
Yeah?
And
You can't see the curvature. You can't. I tell you now, you can't. You think you've seen it. Okay?
certain details in the mountains.
Yeah? Why is that? Why do you think you stopped seeing things?
Because you've moved far away.
Oh, so you're saying the curve is in the way? No. No. And we've done so many, not me personally, but in our community, there are so many people who've done experiments. Mainstream media are doing their utmost best to block it. That's why YouTube are clamping down on all videos to do with questioning the shape and the size and all the things that we told about the Earth.
You have to give me plausible evidence.
Okay, well look into it. All I say to you, I'm not going to stand here for an hour and explain it to you. What I would suggest, because you're an intelligent guy, and I would suggest that to anybody who comes onto my Discord channel, to inform themselves, is to just go and take a closer look. Look at the curvature calculator, examine the behavior of waters, large bodies of water,
Curvature calculator,
which is 8 inches per mile squared of curvature.
And I work with
What do you work with? Your own numbers? Oh, no, 8 inches is not, okay, well 8 inches, what's that? 1 inch is 2.5 centimetres. We can easily work that out. So it's about 20 centimetres, a bit more, per, what's a kilometre? Square kilometre is less than a mile squared. So you'd have to work it out. But you can do the mathematics, 4,000 kilometres in circumference, work out how much curvature you should see after a certain distance. And then go to your Azores on your boat and get a binoculars or a telescope, and then look out far, and you'll see things that you can't see with the naked eye, because it's called perspective and it's called vanishing point. We did an experiment, a friend of ours, where he had a kitchen table, yeah, and he put a coin there, and he put a camera facing the top of the table with the coin on it. And what he did was he moved the coin back across the table. That's all he did. And what happened? The coin started vanishing from the bottom up. And it's angular resolution. It's angular resolution, right? So when you're seeing the sun, always lighting the top of the clouds, never the bottom of the cloud, always the top, right? It's never underneath the clouds, can't be, right? Well, then the sun's not going down, is it? It's going away and it's coming back. That's what's happening. But your perspective makes it look as if it's coming down.
Clouds are between you and the sun.
Well, yeah, the clouds are just, they're going horizontally, they're parallel to the ground. Clouds, aren't they?
Yeah, they're parallel.
Parallel to the ground. You can't be parallel to a curve. You can be parallel to a horizon, not to a curve.
There's parallel curves.
There's parallel curves, okay, go on then.
Curves.
So you're saying a curve is level then? A curve is then level?
Of course.
Curve is not level. How can a curve be level?
Have you ever heard about the level of function levels?
You can't have a level curve.
Of course you do.
No, you can't.
Have you
It's either a curve or it's
seen
level.
pressure maps?
Well, look up level on the dictionary. Look up what it says under level. I've forgotten now. I can't remember what it said. But if you look up the definition of the word level, it doesn't say anything about curving.
Man, it's a name. It's irrelevant.
Oh, I know what it means. I'm aware of what it means.
When you have a line where you have certain
That's level. That's not level.
it's level.
Curved.
It's level not to the first picture. It's level to the round surface.
Sir,
It's a
madam,
level line.
help yourself. Okay, thank
Have you
you.
ever studied functions in R2, R3?
But you see, this is what happens though. Myself included, I start talking about things that are relatively irrelevant to simple facts like I can see too far. You're smiling at me the whole time because you're questioning, you're thinking to yourself, well, this guy's a bit of a dick because I've been on the Azores and I've been on a boat and I can clearly see the curve, which you can't. I've been on boats. I come from England. It's a boat country, right? And I can tell you when I'm on a boat, I can see Calais from Dover on a clear day easily, and I can see the cars on the ground before the cliffs, or Dover from Calais. Now, you cannot see that on a curve. It's impossible. You wouldn't see that. You'd have hundreds of feet missing. And it would be leaning back. It's simple observations, but our school tells us no. When I was a child, I was told we're living on a spinning ball. I never understood that. Now I know why we've been told that. Because the schools are connected to the same system. They're all owned by the same people. Media, all this sort of stuff. You know, it connects with lots of other topics. But you got people like this here. He's been on camera to tell everybody, the world. You could look him up on YouTube. The guy created the blue marble photo, the 2.0 photo from 2000, and I can't remember the exact year, 2002 or something like that. He admits it CGI'd. There's no photograph of Earth from space. Never has been, never will be. Nobody's ever been out there. But nobody believes that. And I say, look it up. Because why do I think that? Because I've looked it up. I've checked out all the details. NASA admit they've never been beyond a certain height. They admit it. And when I say, well, but you went to the moon 50 years ago, they'll say, we've lost all the telemetry data. And they'll also say it's too expensive to reproduce technology needed. They're saying that 50 years later. They're saying that. You believe that? You believe they lost the telemetry data? You would lose something of the world's greatest achievement and you would lose it in a drawer?
Have you ever studied a computer?
I don't even lose my iPhone, my friend. I don't lose my phone with photos on. And they lose the whole warehouse full?
Have you seen...
Man, they've got you. They have got you, man. If you believe that, they have got you. And that's what we're fighting against. If you believe that NASA lost all the most important information in man's history, then believe that crap.
Have you ever seen a computer?
I've never seen a computer, man. I live in a jungle. Of course, I know what goes on. I'm not stupid. I know that. And we're not stupid. We were all like you once. We believed in what the system told us. All these people who are here, they're all ex-technicians. They're all, you know.
What I can figure in what I can...
what you can see.
No, in what I can...
You can prove by measuring a distance from A to B, taking a look and saying, according to the curve calculation that we get from officials, not our invention, from NASA and from the schooling system, you should not be able to see certain distances. From a certain distance, there'd have to be a drop. And also, by the way, in all directions, not just frontwards, because we're not on a cylinder, are we? We're on a ball. Yeah, apparently. You know.
I'm just.
But listen, I'm not going to argue with you if you don't want to, and you're a nice guy anyway, but all I'm saying is it's worth just looking at a bit closer. Lots of different things that were done, like the Rowbottom Canal test. He did 6 miles in England, right? And the boat didn't change height, it didn't go anywhere, 6 miles. We've got footage of the Suez Canal, over 100 miles long, the Suez Canal. Not one little drop in the Suez Canal. So where is the curvature? If it's not in the canal, where is it?
Can I ask?
Is it Greenland or somewhere else? Hello?
Can I ask you one
Yeah,
question?
please do. I don't know if I can answer it.
Wait. The second map.
It's not a map, it's just a plain old model.
Okay, so
Yep.
so you believe that in every side of the Earth is ice from Antarctica?
I don't know is the answer, but what I do know is that we don't have a South Pole.
Do you think the man has not traveled?
Oh, I'm sure they have, and that's why David Attenborough has gone down there with a brand new ship from England. Have you read about that and seen it in the news? Check it up. He's gone to Antarctica for 2 years with a Royal Navy flotilla of ships.
It's surrounding the Earth.
Let me put it a different way, because I have many questions as well for what this is. What I can tell you, I don't believe, is that we're living on a spinning ball.
No, I don't.
Right?
I don't care about.
Right. So if you come here, I'll show you. This might not be round. It could be square. I don't know. That's from above.
Yeah, but it's surrounding the Earth.
Well, what would keep water in? You need a container to keep water in, right? Water would just disappear if you didn't have an edge somewhere, but I don't know where that is. It could be further away, I don't know. There might be land beyond that. I don't know. But what I do know is we cannot go to the South Pole. We can't go to the Antarctica. We're not allowed to. There are treaties in place. It's called the Antarctica Treaty System, ATS. If you look it up, normal people can't go there, only military. Yeah, look it up, ATS. It's an old treaty. And also look up Admiral Byrd, who done a lot of it. He was America's youngest ever admiral in the Navy, in the US Navy. Admiral Byrd, B-Y-R-D. He tells you a lot of things about what he discovered. Very interesting. Anyway, plenty to enjoy and look at, and I guarantee if you look properly within 2 weeks, you will be a flat earther. I guarantee it. And I'll buy you dinner. See you later. Take care.
Mile ball with a 4,000 mile radius. In order to travel 1/4 of that ball, you need to account for 4,000 miles of curvature and radius.
Well, that was nice.
Radius is in the miles squared.
I don't know how that went. I haven't got a clue.
Over
But
bodies of water, small or large.
I'm just going to read some things in the chat. Okay, I'm getting well done, Spencer. I presume I was all right on that. You never know yourself when you're talking, because sometimes you're looked at as if you're a total plank. Well, actually, I get that anyway. That's why I'm divorced. But that's another story. Yeah. So, Sleeping Warrior. Good afternoon, my friend. Hope you're doing well, Anthony. Hope all is well. Ute, how you doing, mate?
A large lake called Earth. All our continents are simply rocks.
So,
Inside of that lake,
there we go.
water must be contained. Gravity is a theory based on a thing that something falls because you picked it up. That's not enough to get water to sink into a ball, my friend. There is no science proof. What experiment would you bring to me to prove to me that you live on a spinning globe? What experiment would you bring? You have no experiments.
If you have something to say, join the conversation. Well, why are you saying that's wrong?
Gentlemen,
Sorry?
your government is lying to you. Your science is a deception. In fact, gravity, my friend, is the biggest religion on Earth.
There you go. Safety in numbers. Probably wouldn't have said anything without his friends, but did blush on the way out there once Dave followed him. Nothing like feeling uncomfortable. Right. So yeah, it's a little bit windy here as well, so we have to keep.
NASA cannot even get into low Earth orbit. They are flying planes in the sky to deceive you, to make you think you live on a ball, and that you're simply a monkey, evolved over millions of years rather than created perfect.
Yeah, it's funny. People are saying that's wrong, have the worst manners. That's quite amazing as well. It's something I've noticed. They talk about their belief systems, and yet when you're actually trying to hold a conversation with them, they act like total and utter planks. And you just have to say, you know, who you're actually dealing with here. Are you dealing with people who are truthfully refuting our newfound knowledge, or are they just doing it to be, well, I won't even say it because there will be people who won't want me swearing and I'll keep it clean, but you know. It's fascinating. Dave, so how's the feedback with you, my friend?
Well, I'm enjoying the the session. My throat's just going a little bit funny. I need to get some water.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we've got a few people in the chat, so and we had a little donation as well, which is good.
Oh, that's nice.
We just had an airline engineer.
Oh, yes.
Yes, he said, well, my physics. Have you learned physics? He was asking me, and I said, well,
Physics of water tell you all you need.
physics, yeah. Physics. What does he mean? So, and out comes the megaphone.
We need to find out what Portuguese Earth is flat is.
Yeah. Yes, if anybody in the chat could please tell us what the Earth is flat is in Portuguese, that would be lovely. It's ironic that I'm in Portugal and I'm asking people who aren't in Portugal to teach me some Portuguese. So yeah, it's a nice place here. It's busy.
Just you.
There's something going on, but interesting nevertheless. Good evening or good afternoon. Yeah. So I would get a drink, but the van is gone. Have you got water? I'll grab myself a swig of water because I'm thirsty. I've got a bit of Gandhi's flip-flop, you know. There we go. Well, I'm just going to drink, I'm just going to have a sip of this level water. There we are, look at that. That's quite level. That looks rather level to me. Let's have a look. Oh, I'll turn it on its side so I can bend it. Oh, no, it's not bending.
Earth is flat.
I think the Earth is flat,
The
someone
Earth
said.
is definitely flat.
Do you think that's level?
All bodies of water, always come to their rest perfectly level.
They are level, most certainly level. Not level 42, just simple level. It's quite amazing. There we go. So, that lady looks interested, so I'm going to give her a quick flyer. See what they say. There you go. You're welcome.
Okay, I can go with you on that. I mean, I'm not gonna. It's just
So-
that we don't see that outer space is a real thing.
Help yourself. You're welcome.
That we see are one.
You all right?
Yeah. What is this about?
What this is about?
Yeah.
It's about us being lied to.
About?
About everything pretty much, but let's start with the shape of the Earth and all the schooling systems and the media that are complicit and everything else that still lead the majority of people thinking we're living on a spinning water ball in space, which is quite ironic.
And
So,
truth is then what?
Sorry?
What is the truth then, in your opinion?
Well, I know that's not true, so that's enough for me to say question it.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm not going to come from an angle pretending I know everything, because I certainly don't. But I'm not filming you, don't worry. But what I am saying is that prove to me we live on a spinning ball, and that answer. And I asked them, why do you believe we live on a spinning ball? And they often say the same thing. Well, photographs from NASA. Well, they're not photographs. The guy over there, who's responsible for all the CGI, he admits it freely that it's all CGI images, all of it. Every single picture we have from space is CGI. But that's not even the proof we need. You know, they admit it today. The ISS says they can't go further than 200 miles or 250 miles or whatever it is. They can only go in low Earth orbit. Well, that only means it's whatever they're in, whatever contraption, if they're not in the studio, is quite close to home. You know? But there's so many things. Water finding its level, we all know that. We all know water is level. So why do we allow our mind to get tricked by the system to tell us, yeah, but it can bend around the ball because we'll invent this thing called gravity, and that will have the answer to everything. And when you look closely as to who invented the whole idea of gravity and where that came from, this angle of indoctrination, you'll see it has a lot to do with certain powerful entities in Britain, and beyond that, you know, if you look at the names, Darwin with his evolution, Newton with his gravitational stuff and all the rest of it, they all come from the same club. Einstein was one of them as well. And, you know, Einstein even says gravity's not a force, but you tell that to somebody on the street and they think you're lying, because nobody's looked it up. And why would they? Because they accept the norm, the status quo. But everybody's too busy trying to pay their rent and go to work. And they're more important to see who's leaving Big Brother at the end of the week. And it's just crazy. The Earth has turned totally crazy. It's gone mental. And government, controlling the mind, ment is the mind, govern, to control. That's where the word comes from. It's all in plain sight. for us all to see, but people don't question it enough. And if you do question it, you get ridiculed for being a conspiracy theorist. Well, not really. My daughter's going to question everything. She's 9. I've told her, you question everything. Don't sit pretending you know something. If you don't know, ask.
That's true, yeah.
And find out for yourself. I turned 43 before I started looking at this more closely. These are just a few bullet points. When you actually look at it properly and you go down those rabbit holes and check and you connect the dots, you'll see it's all connected, all of it. You know, whether it's geoengineering or, I'm not even talking about global warming because we don't live on a globe. And by the way, melting ice doesn't change the water levels anyway. There's been experiments done and that doesn't happen. So that's all lies as well. And it's all attempts to get money out of people's pockets and control them. You know? You think if you can tell the Earth's population that they're on a spinning ball amongst millions of other spinning balls, and you can explain to the population that they're insignificant and they're not unique and they're not divine, then you've managed what you set out to do, which is total control. We're saying, take another look at that. In all the scriptures it talks about a solid stationary plane. Doesn't say anything about spinning balls, right? Never has done. And we're saying everybody is special. We all have a place in society and on Earth. And, you know, we all have something to offer. But that is, for me, the biggest lie, you know, is lying about our home, where we live. And, you know, I tried saying it to the gentleman earlier. We've done experiments where you can see 30, 40, 50 miles through a telescope or binoculars, you know, and see boats on the horizon. You wouldn't see that if those figures are correct that they give us. And when they say, well, the Earth might be much, much bigger, then I'll say, well, then the NASA photos are fake. You can't have it both ways. You need either one argument's got to be right or the other one, yeah?
What about the Hubble telescope and all
Do you really believe that even exists? They might have built one. I mean, there are people who build satellites, but do they go up into space? No. Because they can't break through. Check out something like Operation Fishbowl. The Americans and the Russians tested to see how far extreme out the firmament was. That was their whole idea. That was the whole experiment, was to find out how far they can go. Operation Fishbowl is a good one to start. Admiral Byrd from the US Navy, when he went down to the Antarctica. Yeah, I mean, you know, Captain James Cook, or whatever his name was, the British guy, he logged 60,000 miles in his logbook to go around Antarctica. Didn't realise he was actually going around an edge. And that was kept secret from history books for years. I never learned that in school in England. We all told he found Hawaii and got stabbed by natives on a beach. That's what we learned. We didn't learn that he travelled 3.5 years thinking Antarctica was an island and actually it was 60,000 miles. Well, that would explain it surrounding the land masses and keeping the water in. Might not be perfectly round, but it could certainly be flat. And circumnavigation, you can go east-west. And nobody has ever travelled north-south circumnavigation. Nobody's ever done north-south, ever. You know? So there are lots of facts that are hidden from us. And then I get angry, and then I think to myself, okay, well, why hasn't the school been teaching me this when I was a kid? Because it's clearly an agenda. Clearly, otherwise they would teach you all variations, but they don't. They will teach you that, and that's it, and that's what you go with. That's what you work with. So the answer to the question of why is it's total control. People will find out soon when money is taken out and we don't have cash anymore, and things start getting tighter and squeezing people, they'll then realise what's going on. But I just hope people realise before it's too late. And that's what we're trying to do here. Awake people a little bit and get them to just, you know. We all have families. I mean, him and his wife, for example, are travelling with a 2.5-year-old boy. You know, I mean, we're taking this seriously, you know. This is not for a laugh. And we get people who ridicule us, yeah, of course, because it's too much of a step. It smashes their belief systems. But it's interesting when you ask them, where do you get your knowledge from? It's always, I've been told, or I've read, or I've seen. None of it is I've experienced personally. Although some people do say, oh, I've seen the curve. Well, you haven't seen the curve, because there is none. The only thing you might see is a 360-degree visual sort of thing, because your lenses are like that. I mean, that's normal, but there's no curve. It's, you know, you can see too far. But it's, you know, it's food for thought. It's to get people thinking and researching. Are you local? Are you from here?
No, I lived here some years ago and I always return here.
Oh, okay. There we go. It's my first time here, so.
Okay. So you are doing a little travel with this?
We're going to Gibraltar tomorrow.
Gibraltar.
Yeah, we came from, where did we come from? We came from Bordeaux.
Okay.
And then before that we were Paris. So we travelled all over the place. A couple of them have been on the bus now for 2 months or 2.5 months. I'm going back next week to Barcelona, and then I fly back to England from Barcelona. And then they continue, they go back through France, Marseille, and then they go to Switzerland, up to Scandinavia. So it's a big tour. Yeah. But it's interesting. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Nice to meet you. Take care. Welcome. Would you like one? It's just some information that you can look at without having to bend your neck and look at what's on the floor. It's just a bit of, it's about basically that we're being lied to about many things, and one of the main issues is our home, the earth, what we're living on, and there's so many things connected with that. It's you know, it's a rabbit hole really, but we're trying to just get people to research some things and look a bit closer at
Calais to Dover.
Yeah, well, Calais to Dover is a classic. I do that stretch very regularly, and I can always see Dover from Calais. Always. That shouldn't be possible if the Earth is what they say it is. That cannot be possible. Shouldn't be possible.
Why?
Because it's 8 inches per square mile, per mile squared. That has to change in every direction. So if you're stood here, like this, it must go down in every direction because it's a ball, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And also, if it's a ball, if I'm in England, I'm spinning slower than if I'm in Nigeria, which is equator. Yeah. Do you think that's possible? Do you think in England there's more gravity to keep people on the ground, and in the equator there's less gravity? And then what about centrifugal force? And it's just all crazy. It's absolute.
Really?
It's mental.
When
It's
you start
mental.
thinking about it.
3 years ago I started looking at this closely.
Really?
I'm 46
How's
now.
it called?
Sorry?
How is it called?
Well, it's called the Globelite.
Cognitive
dissonance. It's when people are stuck in their belief systems. 9/11 is a good example.
Yeah.
The first few years everybody went along with it. It was so powerful, the message.
Yeah.
But then cracks started to appear, and then
Yeah,
people
it's-
started looking a little bit and going, oh, okay, there was a third building that collapsed. That's interesting. That was never shown in the news.
Yeah.
Well, the BBC did show it, but they announced it too early. There's famous footage.
Sort of.
Yeah, and then you start
Right,
thinking, well,
right.
what's going on?
Are you a Friends fan? No. Friends?
I'm not. No, I'm not. My name's Sven. An English guy with a Swedish name and a German mother. So Sven, yeah. Are you guys from here, or are you visiting?
I'm from here.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm from here.
You're from here. Lucky
She's
you.
from
Nice
Ukraine.
place. You're from the Ukraine.
Yeah. She doesn't speak English very
Doesn't speak
well.
English. I don't speak Ukrainian very well. So. Or Portuguese.
Он не говорит на украинском.
I'm sorry.
Он из Англии.
Sorry. No, that's. I mean, and all we want to do with this really is just get people thinking.
Sure.
Don't accept